Welcome back to another project session in this course. I want us to quickly look at some of the tasks we are going to be performing on our data set again in order to achieve the second project. This is the same data set we have been using. So this is a continuation of the previous project. In your own data set, I expect that the country code should have been changed to country name, and then I don't expect you to have customer name again because I believe this should have been turned into 3 different columns. So you are not using a new data set, you are still working on that particular one that you worked with. So this data set here, change the name to the read data or anything you want it to be, but we are going to be working on this particular data set again. The one where you have transformed, you have extracted the name, the gender, first name, and the last name. The one where you have changed the country code to country name, and you have deleted this column, country code, you have deleted these two. Now, the next thing you are going to be doing on that same spreadsheet, let's go to them. 1, remove all the columns mentioned in the video. So these are the columns I want you to remove from your data set. 1, remove state. That is the first thing. Remove state, remove postal code, remove postal code plus, and remove this address, this empty address. Leave the Gmail alone. The customer ID, leave it there. Other ID, leave it there. This other date, remove it. Other time, remove it. Do not remove the other time. Don't remove the other time, leave the other time there, but remove the other dates. Flight charges, other salesman, leave all of this there. Other posted dates, remove it. Other ship dates, let it be there. Age, let it be there. Other amount, let it be there. Transaction type, let it be there. Purchase touch point, let it be there. Status, let it be there. Other type, let it be there. Generation, let it be there. And let all of these commodities, let them be there. Good. The second task is that change nationality to salesman's nationality and T-type to transaction type. So if you come here, you can see that we have this nationality, then we have the salesman's ID. So this nationality belongs to the salesman. So change this to salesman nationality. And at the same time, this country code here, change them to their normal country, to full name, like we did the other time. And use this as your guide. IT for Italy, so that this point, I don't want us to be having US, FR. I want us to have USA, France, Español, Italy, and co. And delete this particular one. So this C type here, change it to transaction type. Let it be transaction type so that when we are analyzing our data, it can be clear. Transaction type. Good. So create a new column called the month column. So what you want to do is that from this ordership date, in the last stage, in the first stage of the project, we created the weekday, isn't it? We created weekday. So from this ordership date, this time around, we want to create another column. Let that new column be beside the weekday column and let it be month column, so that we want to extract month from this date. So you will have the month, you will have the weekdays. Good. And then we now start working with a pivot table. So the pivot table, we are going to create the pivot table from this particular data set. And what are we going to be using our pivot tables to address? Number one, we want to create a table for the 20 customers, the top 20 customers by number of transactions. We want to know the top 20 customers when it comes to the number of transactions they have done. So we want to check that are there some customers who have more than one transaction, and if that is yes, we want to know those ones that have the highest amount of transactions, and we want to rank them into the top 20. Create a table for the top 20 customers, also a pivot table for the top 20 customers based on the total amount they have spent. So we also want to create another table for top 20 customers, and we want to see based on the amount they have spent. So when you look at our data set here, you can see the value amounts. You can see the order amount. You remember this order amount must have been formatted to pounds. In the last project, this should have been formatted to pounds. So in your own data set, this should be in pounds. So that anything you are doing should be in pounds. So this order amount, we want to see the customers. If we have customers who have had more than one transaction, we want to ask which of them have paid the highest amount of money on our platform. So we want to rank them to the first 20. So we want to find out 3 countries with customers who have the highest buying power. So we want to look for customers with the highest buying powers, and we want to look at the 3 countries where those customers are from, so that we can direct our advertisement towards those countries. Then we are creating another table. So we are creating another pivot table with the average age of customers by order type. The average age of customers by order type. So what you want to see is that if you look at here, you will see order type. You can see order type, some are low value, some are high value. So we want to know the average age of our customers based on this low value and high value, because we want to know that it is the younger age group who are getting the high value, or the older young group. So we want to see a relationship between the order type that we are having and the average age of our customers. So we want to convert this to, okay, have a table, and then we have the order type and we have the average age of the customers for each of these. So you do all of these with pivot table. So create a pivot table, also a pivot table showing the number of transactions and the value amount for each month. And sort this table by number of transactions from highest to lowest. So which means that we are going to create a table, and that table is going to be having two values in front of three columns. The first column will be for the month, and then the second column will be for number of transactions done in that month, and then the third column will be for the total value amount that was made for that particular month. And then we are going to sort that table in descending order based on the number of transactions. So the reason is because we may have a month with a very high number of transactions, but there is no high amount generated that particular month. So something like that. We want to go around it. We want to do the same thing here. We want to create another pivot table showing the number of transactions and the total value amount for each generation. So you can see that we have some generation category here: generation Y, baby bloomers, generation Z, and their code. So we want to know which of these generations are patronizing us more. And so for us to do that, we need to create a pivot table that shows the number of transactions and the total amount we have generated for each of these generations, and sort the table to by the number of transactions from highest to lowest, so that we can know the generation type that is patronizing us more, and we can also be informed based on that. So let all the tables be on the same worksheet and name the worksheet as derived tables. So what we are saying is that all of these tables here must be on the same worksheet, and all of them must be created using pivot tables, and you must do that on the same worksheet. So thank you very much until we meet in the next one.